financial trouble. And so when that happened, and he took that wage cut, and he deferred his wages a few years. So what happened was that now Barcelona had to pay him, but because the financial crunch wasn't over, Barcelona 2 years back decided to sell him to Manchester United. And De Jong, obviously, Barcelona's Barcelona, he refused to leave. And so, this media onslaught started that, this guy, he's being overpaid, look, he's not attacking, this and that. And so, obviously, that impacts the fans. They're not looking at, the tactical game is much bigger, which is happening behind the scenes mostly. And so the fans, turned against him. They, this guy, he's being paid too much. We haven't seen De Jong on the pitch. He's not doing much. And so that narrative starts building and it starts gaining momentum. And so now, and then he gets injured. So now what happens is that we got a new coach, Hansi Flick. And obviously De Jong is staying. He's not going to leave. If he does leave, it's most likely going to be on as a free agent when his contract expires, because he's not renewing right now either. And because there's this Cold War sort of a situation going on, he's a Dutch player. He doesn't like it when you decide to sell him against his will. And that was because they had to pay him that money that he had deferred. So now he's not recovered yet. But once he does, we're going to see how Hansi Flick is going to play him. And so let's get to that. So what Hansi Flick is going to do is he's going to start off in a 4-2-3-1. So we got this back four. We got this double pivot. And then we got these three attackers with the number 10, and obviously the striker Robert Lewandowski. So as of now, Barcelona have not signed a Busquets replacement, so they don't have a real pivot in the traditional sense. So it's most likely going to be Christensen again over here, or maybe somebody else. Let's see if Hansi Flick can find some talent during the preseason. But De Jong again is going to have that role over here. So when Hansi Flick attacks, it's basically this front five. And so over here what happens is that, when this line moves forward, one of the guys from the double pivot, if it's this guy over here, he's going to have to move forward, or De Jong is going to have to move forward, and they're going to have to make this front five, these guys making late runs. One of the guys, linking up the number 10, linking up with Robert Lewandowski, and then, De Jong over here. So, it's basically that front five sort of a thing that's going to work. But what we're going to have to see is that, with Xavi, it was basically Christensen moving forward. And right now, and somebody's going to have to play that role of Thiago Alcantara, who's going to, because the fullbacks in Flick's plan are also going to attack. And so one of these guys is going to have to stay back. It's most likely going to be De Jong, but obviously, Christensen, he is a defender. And it could be him as well. So, well, the main role is, like, the way I see him is because, initially Thiago Alcantara used to play as an interior midfielder, but when Hansi Flick came to Bayern, he moved him back over here to make those, make those passes to this line of five. The line breaking passes where you can, pass over here, here, and whoever gets the ball, for example, this guy gets the ball, everybody makes this run into the box. And you got to overload this box over here. And so, when you have 4 or 5 guys over here inside the box, there's a pretty good chance you're going to score. And, there's not too much passing going around over here. There is passing. It's a high possession-based team. But the differences between Hansi Flick and the traditional Barcelona DNA coaches is that once you win the ball back through a high counter press, Hansi Flick wants you to attack within 3 seconds. He wants you to get inside that box, and that's why the role of the number 10 behind the striker is really, really important, because he's the guy who's going to be creating the spaces through his runs. And so there's a lot of coordination going on between these two guys over here. So if he now, gives, and so what, and because, he had Thomas Muller and Coutinho, he moved Thiago Alcantara back. And so if that's the role De Jong is going to play, well, he's perfectly suited for that role. And he's going to get to go forward, but most of the time, he's going to stay around over here, move back and forth, and, form this back three sometimes. But now the thing is, De Jong is one of those guys who gets the ball, and then he starts making those runs with his dribble. It's called a progressive carry to beat the opposing press. And so the good thing now is that, because Hansi Flick is looking for those passes, those line breakers, the good thing is that he has Thiago Alcantara on his staff. And Thiago, as we've heard, he's practicing with the team, and during the possession exercise, he is actually a player inside the team, because he's training your guys how to play possession the way Hansi Flick wants Barcelona to play. And so when De Jong gets back from injury, we can see Thiago Alcantara, if he does during the summer, because Thiago's only here till the summer, we can see him guiding De Jong to play more of those line-breaking passes. And so let's see what happens. The other thing is that, if Christensen's the guy, then he's going to have to make those line-breaking passes, and then De Jong gets to play up front. And once he gets to play up front, with all the coaching and all that better tactical system that we expect from Hansi Flick, we can see De Jong maybe scoring more goals, or maybe linking up with these guys and having those assists. And so we saw him move forward under Koeman. We could see that again, and with the fast pace and everything, he might even become a goal scorer. So let's see how that happens. Let's see how it works. And yeah, that's that. But we gotta hope that he does well, because if he does well, he renews his contract, and nobody wants to leave Barcelona. So he'll probably renew at lower wages, and then we can see De Jong for a longer time. If not, then he's gonna leave. But if he leaves, it's not much benefit for Barcelona, because fine, he leaves, the wages go, but he's probably gonna leave on a free. And if he leaves on a free, Barcelona, he's a $90 million player, 80 million euro, 90 million euro player right now. They lose that opportunity.